I don't know if I can. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Yeah, I started Cat Lady Confessions in 2020. Yeah. Well, the first part of 2019 was the best time of my life. Adeline had her first litter. And the latter part was spent defending myself against someone's fake swatting charge. And then I spent the next 5 years kind of mourning the deaths of my best friends, waiting for a trial that never came, and only to have charges dropped. While there was a lien on the house in the meantime, supposedly, I'm trying to figure out what the story is for my parents during that time. I arrived back home and their dementia's, pretty bad when I leave to begin with. And it is getting worse. So, I don't know. There was a lot missing when I get home. The trash had been dumped out on the floor to make for a better photo shoot. I went over this on my last phone. I'm gonna try to sync some of the videos one day, I don't know, or maybe just start a new YouTube. Who only knows? I've already done that, but haven't really put many videos on it yet. Especially in just syncing into my last phone has been kind of a mystery to my lack of internet skill in general. I came home and the house was a wreck. Lamps broken, different things. Lamps broken, the floor, the furniture was all wet, soaking wet. The windows were wide open. They were letting the AC out and letting the heat in, letting the rain in. There was a lot going on with just the cats in 2019. I didn't even have a cell phone yet. I had a flip phone. All my cat pictures were on a flip phone, so I only had a couple from a tablet I had briefly in 2018 that were like, something I was able to send. And I got a couple of pictures sent to my other phone from the flip phone, but it fell in the tub. And all my photos, like for 5 years of living with these cats and my veterinary records were taken by the police in 2019. So I didn't have any records of like the last 8 years of what I've been doing at my folks' house, basically. And took all my veterinary records and purchases, The house was covered in receipts and unopened mail and other things. And, it was cluttered, But they kind of trashed the room. There was like a floor lamp that was broken in half. I've had to replace floor lamps. The rug was already being replaced, but it was soaking wet in some parts. And, it's heavy enough to carry out without that. I had to get rid of the mattress and the box spring. They tried to clean up evidence. But, the lien on the house, first the lien on the house, and then the parents' deteriorating condition, just made it impossible to make repairs to the home that we would have liked to have sold in a particular real estate market, maybe moved to another state and gotten on with our lives. The state's action against me, against the cats, whatever lifestyle they're trying to promote their own probation program over. I don't know. I really don't know what their agenda is. I just know they've always seemed to come up with an agenda every time we're trying to move on with our lives. And especially at that point, murdering our beloved family companions, taking our records, balancing their COVID placement books. It was a lot. It was a lot. to not get our property back, guinea pig cages, guinea pigs, chickens, you know, cats, not just cats. And it was just devastating. And then they left the guinea pig behind, Rocky. They didn't even get all the animals. First they say I was unfit. They didn't even get all the animals. And I mean, what? They left two elderly people in a home with windows open, letting the AC out, rain coming in, and they were in there cleaning. I mean, what were they, moving mattresses? They were in their 80s, I mean, true, it's like early 80s, but they were in their late 70s then. Excuse me. I mean, big deal. Not a big difference there. And they were both confused then whether or not they want to admit to it even today. Because, they have their real estate agenda in this park, and I think they don't want to deal with me. I mean, all the notices are not even addressed to me. So they're addressed to quote-unquote other resident, I mean, when they want to accuse me or, watch me or follow me around the park or, DMV inquire who I am, they seem to have no trouble remembering a name that. But, when it's time to do some legal notification about the real estate, which I have to help them with because, cognitively they can't handle these things on their own anymore. I have to write the checks, I have to pay the bills, I have to deal with the bank, I have to give them a ride places. And yet, no one's notifying me, so maybe I need to do a POA, and I just don't trust the state to do that. They seem to want to trust fund manage my resources. They never pay them back. Already, their public defenders seem to have trouble making those cases for property owners, and in general, we don't have many options other than selling this place and trying to get on a decent home health schedule. I don't think they're going to have assisted living options, and that's going to place a burden on me to have to continue to visit them in a state I plan on not having much contact with once I move anyway. That just isn't fair. I should be able to pick an assisted living facility that's closer to our friends and family and where I plan on living for my COPD long term to manage this. That's what it's about, health care. Or it should be. If it wasn't about, someone else's real estate. I wanted to read something from the journal and make it one of these little smoky videos. Hang on, let me get this lit out of camera shot. You can still hear it, I believe, without it being illegal, right? I just have to be careful of the angle and how I hold it, and which parts I show. I guess. Maybe I can get around it. Somehow. Because I am more relaxed. That's the way I spend my days. I am a smoker. Excuse me, I have to adjust my eyeglasses. I don't want to put anything in frame. So frustrated. I wish you could see my whole face on this. I don't know if there's too much private information in this writing, but I'm gonna do some of my journal out loud, and I'll read the dates. It's kind of all over the place because I write it when I have time in between loads of laundry and piles of hand-washed dishes and other things, and cats and litter boxes and other things, other appointments. My cats are the easiest ones to get to the appointments, by the way. I am finding in this long-term care journey. So I'm going to read my journal. 10/19/2025. This morning I had hardly any dishes. For the most part, this is because Mom was in the hospital for the last 2 evenings. Apart from the incessant worry about her health, I did feel a tremendous relief when the work I had to do around the house could finally get done without interruption. Obviously, I had work to get back to, so it ends there. 12/08/2025. I called to cancel my appointment today before I even left the bed. and got rescheduled in early February. My doctor, who I have only seen twice, is on leave, so I have scheduled with one I have not met with yet. I'm considering foreign medical tourism, as always, again. Not for an implant, but maybe for a tracking agent on a few too many thus far. I went downstairs to finish the dishes, and before I could even get downstairs, there's my dad at the bottom of the stairs. He and Mom are in their 80s and tend to stand in the middle of the path anyone is trying to walk on. They have dementia, no matter what you're carrying, from a heavy pile of laundry to a screaming injured child. No matter how important what you're doing is, these two elderly people will just freeze right in place and just stand there in the middle, right in the way, in the middle of the way of whatever is coming down the stairs at them. So Dad has taken up position at the bottom of the stairs, blocking access to the first floor, while Mom secures the entrance to the kitchen. The front door, I notice, has been left unlocked, mind you. I am headed down with the second of 2 flights of stairs with a few mugs, half full soda cans, cat dishes, and laundry, and whatever else I can manage to hold. Dad also has a habit of going through things that aren't his. He, like Mom and many other dementia cases, is a kleptomaniac. Maybe he stole in his youth and is having a bout of long-term memory coming back. But now it's a daily problem with theft and destruction of property. Not just other people's, but also his own. So there's my adoptive father at the bottom of the stairs looking up at me like a Walmart shoplifter, wearing my vest from the shopping bag with the tag still on it. He looked ridiculous, and it wasn't even one of his gifts from the bags, because I wrapped those first. No, it was my new puffy, shiny parka vest hoodie that I bought to go with those new pleather pants that are supposed to make me look younger this year. So when I see him in it, all I can think is, God, I hope I don't look like that in it when I wear it. I said, Dad, that's a Christmas gift, I say, coming down the stairs, frustrated. You're not supposed to be wearing that. Please take it off. Oh, I'm not? He tries to act surprised when caught and then defensive. Now I have to wash it first because I wrap it before I wrap it for Christmas, because Dad's personal hygiene is another matter entirely, and it's best to be on the safe side.